Hey there, and welcome to the Totally First Crochet channel. My name is Thomas, and in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make the rocking stitch for this month's Battle of the Stitches. As you can see, I made a little scrubby out of it just to see how it looks like and to get used to the stitch before I move on to a little bit bigger project. But of course I won't tell you yet. And as you can see, the rocking stitch has quite a beautiful texture with those little star elements here. And in addition, the structure is very rocking like, so the name is definitely accurate. So it's perfect for something like scrubbies or cloths, and I like it when you touch it. It definitely gives like a beautiful feel and a beautiful touch. And I can't wait to show you how to make this stitch. As you can see, both sides look identical, which is also great because then you don't have a good side and a bad side. So let me show you how to make this beautiful stitch. I will do another one of the scrubbies, but in a smaller format, so you get an idea not only how the stitch works, but also what you can do with this kind of a stitch. I'll be using a cotton yarn because with the cotton yarn I think you can also then later on see the stitches much better. And this is an 8/6 quality, and I'll be using a 4mm hook. So the rocking stitch works always with any even number of stitches, unless you do it like I do it, because of course I'm going to start with an I-cord. If you don't use the I-cord method, just make an even number of stitches, and if you do the I-cord, use an uneven number of stitches. In my example to show you the stitch today, I will do 19 stitches, so when you do the regular version, make sure to start with a chain of 20 stitches. So I will quickly make my base, my I-cord, and you have probably seen me do quite a lot of I-cord beginnings because I feel like the beginning is so pretty and so even and straight. So I am continuing doing this until everyone does it, basically. And you start with a slip knot, and then you have your end yarn. You leave a longer tail of the end yarn, wrap it over your hook in front, and then take the other yarn that goes to your yarn ball and wrap it around your hook from the back until you have 3 loops on your hook, and then take that last loop and pull it through the 2 loops. And this we do 19 times in total to get like all our 19 stitches. Here we go, 19 stitches of our I-cord, and we can then also leave the remaining end yarn as is. And now we turn our work. So when you made the typical beginning with the chain, you now have a chain of 20, and you use the 20th stitch or the 20th chain element to turn your work. In my case, now I already can turn directly into the first stitch. And here's how the rocking stitch works. First up, you go in the first stitch under both of the loops, grab the yarn, pull it through, and keep it on your hook. And then you go into the next one, grab the yarn, pull it through. You now have 3 loops on your hook. And now what we do is we basically decrease it. It's as if we would do 2 single crochets together. So you yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. And to close this element here, we make a chain 1. Make sure to do this chain 1 element a bit looser. In general, since this is a very dense stitch, it definitely makes sense to keep your work a little bit on the loose side, just to be sure. Now we can continue. Here we decreased basically 2 stitches. Now we continue decreasing 3 stitches until we are at the end. So the end and the beginning are always the same with just 2 stitches. And here's how we continue. Now we don't go directly into the next stitch, which is right here. We go in the same stitch where we were in the previous decrease stitch, and put our hook in there, grab the yarn, pull it through. You now have 2 loops on your hook. Then we go into the next stitch, do the same thing, 3 loops, and in the next, grab the yarn, pull it through. You now have 4 loops on your hook. And now we close it, yarn over, pull through all 3 of the loops. You see you get like this, those 4 loops right here. And again, to close it, we make a chain 1. And this is basically how we continue. So we go in the same stitch like we had it for the last stitch that we made. Go in there, grab the loop, pull it through, go in the next stitch, and in the next one until you have 4 loops on your hook, and then again yarn over and pull through all 3 of them, and yarn over, pull it through to close it. So you always get like those little shells right here, and this we do all the way. Always remember the first and the last element, you have 3 loops on your hook, and all the stitches in between you always have 4 loops on your hook. And again, our next little rocking shell, 4 loops, and yarn over and pull through all of them, and the chain 1 to close it. And let's just continue until we are at the end, so I can show you how to turn, and then also how to start the next round. I know it's a bit unusual to go back into the same stitch from the previous stitch basically, and I was skeptical in the beginning as well and had to try it, but it definitely works. Four, one, 2, and 3. And as you can see now, I only have 1 I-cord element left. In your case, there should be 1 chain element left, which is correct, because now when we close it and when we think about it that we started with 3 loops, here we go back into the same stitch, grab the yarn, pull it through, and then we go into our last starting element, and we are at the end of the round. And as you can see, you have 3, which is absolutely correct, and then pull through all 3 of them, and with that round 1 is done. As you can see, you already get like those little shell elements visible, and the structure of the stitch gets quite visible. So now what I'm going to do is to chain 1 and turn, and now we do the exact same thing basically. So we go into the first stitch, which will be then also the top from our previous rocking shell right here. Grab the yarn, pull it through. Then up next is the chain element that we did to close one of our shells. This is also why I told you to make the chain a little bit on the loose side, because it can be quite tricky to get in. Now we have the 3 stitches again, and we can close the beginning shell by pulling the yarn through and then chain 1 again. And then we go again back into our stitch, which was the chain from the previous round. Then we go in the top of our next shell, 3 loops on your hook, and then here we go into the next chain element, 4 stitches, and you know what to do. Yarn over, pull through all 4 of them and close it with a chain before continuing. And that is basically it. I will make the round with you because all the following rounds are the same, and you get such a beautiful textured crochet piece. So again, we go back into the same stitch, then we go into the top of our rocking shell, and in the next chain element until we have the 4 loops, yarn over, pull it through, close it, and we can continue into the same stitch in the top of the shell, and in the next chain element, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 4 of them, and chain 1 to close it, and the next one. So always think about 3 in the beginning, 3 in the end, and in between you have the 4, and like that this stitch should not be any problem at all. And in the next, and here we have the chain element, the second to last stitch, 4 stitches, 4 loops on the hook, and we close it. And our last one, the same as we did it before. You go in there, then you grab the last stitch. For the border, it's always a bit pushed to the side, so don't miss that. 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and close them all, and close the shell by making a slip stitch, and get ready to turn. And here's how it looks like. I will just make a few more rounds until I get like a square like this, and then I will finish it off to have like a little pink scrubby for my bigger scrubby. Here we go. One last round of the rocking stitch. Even though it's basically all single crochet style stitches, this rocking stitch goes quite fast, and you get quite a good height in the stitches, so you can finish your projects in no time. I think the scrubby now took me half an hour maybe, or 25 minutes. So it's definitely on the short side. And here we go. The last stitch, chain 1. And now I close it, and I will do just one round of regular single crochets all along, so I can balance out my beginning and get a flat ending. So just regular single crochets into each stitch. And the last one. And now I'm going to make a little hanger, and for that I'm going to chain 12. And then connect it into the same stitch. And I'm going to turn. And now I will just take the loop through for a better, so I can grab it better. And then I will make 16 single crochets all into my ring. And once I have it, I just connect the last stitch with a slip stitch and make another slip stitch, cut the yarn, pull the yarn through, and sew in those yarn ends. And just like that, here's the mini scrubby of the big scrubby. Of course, the handle is optional. I always like it to have it, because then you can hang it in the shower to dry. And just like that, from a test piece to practice the stitch, you get a finished project and have a new scrubby. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed getting to know how to make this rocking stitch. I think it's really rocking, and I can't get enough of that beautiful stitch, and my skin will love it too for sure. And those also make perfect Christmas gifts. Just saying. So I hope to see you back again next time, only at the Totally Fierce Crochet channel, maybe on another tutorial, or for the following weeks of Battle of the Stitches. No matter what, keep crocheting and have fun. Bye! The Battle of the Scrubbies. I think I always make too many scrubbies, but they're so easy to do.